IELTS Academic Writing Task 1. I'm going to give you a complete solution on writing a table graph. By writing this type of table graph that I'm giving you a sample, you can easily hit 8.5 or 9 bands. This is the question statement on the top that would be given in the paper, and below is the table that I have copied exactly or from the paper. It is from the past paper, so it is the sample solution for you. The table below gives information about average annual spending of university students in 3 different countries. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. So you can see the table below. There are 3 countries, country A, B, C, and the total spending of the university students, and then how do they budget on different living costs like accommodation, food, books, labor, and other. As I already have informed you and told you that you would first of all write around 3 to 4 paragraphs in your writing a table graph. First paragraph would be on paraphrasing of the same statement that was given in the paper that you can see on the top. We will paraphrase this, and in the second paragraph you will compare or write about the spendings, total spendings, and different living costs of the country A students. Then you, in third paragraph, you would compare students of country B and C, their spending with the students of country A. And in the final, fourth paragraph, you would write a conclusion. You would conclude your findings with comparisons and where relevant. But you would write only the facts, not your personal opinions or anything else. So the first paragraph, as I've told you, we would paraphrase the same statement. The given table compares the average yearly expenditure of university students on accommodation, food, books, leisure, and other miscellaneous things in 3 countries. It is manifest from the graph that the least spending, that is $1,500, was done annually by students of country C, whereas students of country A and B spend 3 times more than students of country C. So we have paraphrased the same statement that was given in the paper, but we have also added our own commentary by comparing it with the other on the total spending. So the second paragraph, I told you that you would write about students of country A, their total spending and the individual living costs. Students of country A spent $5,000 annually, out of which a major chunk, 45%, went on accommodation. Food and leisure was given equal importance as 22% was spent on each of these things. Be aware of this thing. This is very important to stop here and notice that where it is necessary that 2 things, spending on 2 things are very closer or almost the same, you would not write separately that they spend 22% on food and they spend 22% on leisure. That would seem awkward. You would compare 2 things that are spending the same. So this statement is very important. Other miscellaneous expenses accounted for 8%. This is 8%. Erroneously, it was written G%. It is 8%. At the least 3% was spent on books. So the first country that we have analyzed well, their total spending and everything. Now we would compare in the third paragraph the students spending of students country B and C with compared to students of country A. So this is the third paragraph. The spending pattern of country B was almost similar because there is no much difference, except that these students spent 9% on books. We would only focus on things where there is a bigger difference. which it was 3 times more than the expenditure done by the students of country A on books. Country C spent $1,500 per year, out of which more than a third, 35%, went on food, and 30% was spent on accommodation, and slightly over a fifth of their budget was taken away by books. Once again, stop here and notice that the vocabulary that we have already talked about in the previous lectures, if you have missed those lectures, please go back and attend all those lectures about graph vocabulary. And you can notice here slightly increasing, slightly decreasing in comparison with the over a fifth of 9%, half of the same percentage, etc., etc. So this is very important. Let's proceed. The students gave much less priority to leisure, spending only 12% on it. The least 1% was spent on other things. Now, in the final or fourth paragraph, we will give conclusion. Overall, it is interesting to note that although students of country C spent much lesser than students of country A and B, they gave more priority to books and food. So, this is our major findings, that even the students of country C, they spend much less, 3 times less than students of country A and B, but they spent more on books and food because according to them it is more important than anything else. They spend less on housing, less on leisure, but they spend more on food and books. I hope you know how to write a table graph. This was the first time, that's why I have given you an writing for the from the next graph writings. Either it would be pie chart or line graph or anything else. I would only dictate you, and you can write on your own. Thank you very much. Bye.